game, you're not ready for it. All right, I apologize everyone for the wait. I was actually getting something set up in the background for a student. But we're here once again. So this is Coffee and Charts Live, volume number 58. Yep. While we're doing the live observation, I wanted to address an issue, potential concern, but we're going to nip it in the bud. This is one of the reasons why I tell you guys to share your recordings. Very important, so that you get feedback that you need. Very important. Record your observation or your trade. Record what you think is a potential trade that you should be in, and then share it. Why? So that you get feedback on what you're seeing. I think too often people get caught up in the trade, wondering, was this a good trade? Is this did I apply the parameters here? Before you're even applying parameters or trying to enter into a trade, the prerequisite for entering into a trade must be present. And the prerequisite for that would be stability. Stability must be presented in the right environment. So whatever environment corresponds to the perspective that you're seeing through, whether it's horizontal or vertical, you need to be in the right environment. And then stability in the right environment justifies you being in a trade that will set up in that order. So it's environment, stability or behavior, and then the trade setup in that order. I'm sure that sounds familiar because that's what you learn in 301. Phase 1 is what? Environment. Phase 2 is what? Behavior. And phase 3 is what? Parameters. See, so nothing changes. It's always the same thing. So if you're still seeing trades setting up, but you're still in the wrong time, you have to work on the part that's missing, which is identifying the right time. Make sense? And I'll only know that, or collectively we'll only know that if you share your recordings. That's why recording and then posting in the group or sending it to me is so important. All right. So I'll just reiterate that again. As you guys make your way on, please be sure to like and share the video. If you're not already following the TeamAlliance page on Facebook, please follow the page and then turn on the little bell. There's a little bell notification button that you need to turn on. All right, so turn that on. If you're tuning in from YouTube, like and share the video and subscribe. I think literally right now I'm one subscriber away from 4,000. I know the other night we were like 3 away. So now I'm 1 away. Literally 3,999. So one more subscriber will be at 4,000 subscribers. All right. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe right now. All right. I know I'm pretty sure that folks are on here who've never been on here. It's definitely worth subscribing to this channel on YouTube. Incredible content here, a lot of education, a lot of mindset training. Being here is like having a mentor. All of that, like for real. Stuff I should be charging people money for, I don't. But I think I might in the future. If you want personal one-on-one mentorship, I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna start doing it because people have been asking me for a long time to do that, and I'm gonna start doing it, and I'm gonna charge you for it too. Yep. Yep. You want my time, you're gonna pay for it because I could be spending my time actually observing the market and waiting for trades to come and make way more money. All right. So anyway, the thing that I want to address specifically, I actually kind of started talking about it already, but when you're identifying a trade setup, the trade setup only matters if you are in the correct environment, number one, and if stability is present, number two. So in other words, the trade setting up would be phase 3 that you learn in 301, the parameters. That's the least important thing. The most important thing is having phases 1 and 2 present, meaning being in the right environment and having stability in that environment. Now, one of the things with vertical that I haven't said yet, but I'll say it now so that you kind of understand why phase 1 or why the environment is so important. With both perspectives is important, but with vertical in particular, it's way more important because you can easily look at a trade setup just because you see a crossover. I told you this is going to be important. Yeah, pay attention. Listen. When you see a crossover, that don't mean that there's a trade. Sound familiar, right? Same way that I tell you in horizontal, just because you see 5+1 doesn't mean that there's a trade. Sound familiar? So guess what happens? Guess what? The same thing that people do in horizontal, they do the same thing in vertical. Wow. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? You'll know how people will look at trade setups that you shouldn't be in horizontal? Well, guess what? Folks do it in vertical too. So understand, I should have 4K now. Let me check real quick. Hold on. Let me see if it went up. Let's see. Did it go up? I don't know. We'll find out right now. Come on, YouTube. Let's see. Drum roll, please. Nope. Nope. Nope, not yet. It's still 3,999. No cigar. All right, so somebody out there need to subscribe for real, because this is ridiculous. The other night we was at 3,997, and then it went down. I think it went down to like 3,992 yesterday, and then when I woke up this morning and took a look, it was back at 99, and we've been at 99 all day. Just have not hit that 4,000 just quite yet. We're gonna get there. It'd be nice to get there while we on the live, but it is what it is. So listen. So again, the same things that people do in horizontal, they do in vertical. Look at that. So it goes to show you that, oh, we just did it. Yeah. 4,000, damn it. Yeah. Shit, man. Oh, this shit is taking forever, didn't it? 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. All right. All right. So what was I just saying? I forgot what the hell I was just talking about. What was I just talking about? I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, people doing the same thing on vertical, right? All right. So that goes to show you that the same thing exists inside of you as a person, like just in general. we always have the same things that we're dealing with. So it's the same. Yeah, I like that. I'm feeling that, David. Said 1 million right around the corner. Let's go. So the same things that people have to deal with are universal. It doesn't change because of the perspective that you're looking at the market from. Okay. Also, the market don't change just because you're looking at it from a different perspective, right? The market is always going to do what it does. Your job is to be in alignment with it so that you're always seeing it properly. And that's why I'm giving you the order in which you should be looking. Environment. I'm not going to say the most important, but with vertical, it's more important. What is environment in vertical? Someone tell me. Let me see if y'all be paying attention. What is in? Give me the name or the word for the environment that we want in vertical perspective. Somebody type it in right now. And I know somebody going to get it because you guys have been trained by the best, I must say. Look at that. Off the rip. Look at this. Instantly. Come on, man. Look at this. Look. Come on now. Come on. That's what we do. So the environment in vertical is momentum. So when you see a crossover and there's no momentum, what happens? What do you do? What do you do? Same thing in horizontal. When you see a trade setting up, right, and there's not small candles, what do you do? What do you do? That's the point that I'm making. So the same way that you could easily overlook the range in horizontal, you can easily overlook momentum in vertical. You understand? So you need to have momentum, and it's more important than you think that it is. So just because you see a big candle does not mean that there was momentum in the market at the time. Momentum acts like this. Push, 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 move back a little bit, push again. That's what momentum looks like. Momentum doesn't look like push, reverse, just as fast as it pushed. That's not momentum. That's reversal energy still present while momentum is coming in. You understand? That's the difference. When momentum is coming into the market, it is at a tug of war with reversal energy if reversal energy was already there. Y'all got to pay attention. If you already had reversal energy there, the momentum has to compete with the reversal energy. And that tug of war is what you see. Momentum comes in, you see a big push, and then you'll see a big ass reversal. Or you'll see a big push, and then you'll just see it reversing. And you're like, I don't know about that. The reason that you're seeing that is because there's a tug of war between the two. Now, once momentum subdues the reversal energy, you won't see that anymore. You'll see very little of it coming back, but then the push continues. That's momentum. That's the level of momentum that we want to have present. And if you don't have that, then there's nothing to do because the momentum represents phase one in the vertical. So that means you have to have that. If you don't have that, I don't care that it crossed over. And y'all can find out for yourselves through recording. The folks that are following vertical are sending me recordings consistently. And that is excellent because through the recordings, you can see and I can communicate with you effectively how easy it is to miss when you're just focusing on one or two aspects of the process. So in other words, you might look and you're like, movement is stable. Oh, there's a crossover. A lot of times what happens in vertical, when you have stability of movement and a crossover comes, if the push is not there, when that market crosses over, it could flirt with the strike. And y'all, I know that y'all have seen this. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you that have been observing vertical, the market will flirt with the strike. It'll go under like by 2 or 3 micro pips, but you won't see it go under by 5, 6, 7 micro pips. It'll be like 2 or 3 under. And it'll hold because the market is stable. But guess what? It's 2 or 3 micro pips under what we're waiting to see? No, it's not. So that's not even part of phase 3 for you entering that as a trade. But my point is that when you see that crossover, you get excited because you're like, oh, here go one. But remember that when you say here goes one, it's not about the trade. See? So you should already be seeing momentum. And if you're not, then you're going to totally disregard whatever trade does set up. I don't care that it crossed over. If you're seeing that there's delayed momentum, and the ones following vertical, y'all are hearing me use different terms now. You'll hear me say delayed momentum. Some of y'all call it hesitation because sometimes it'll be at the beginning of the last minute. But then sometimes the momentum comes at the end of the last minute after the fact. But there's nothing that you could do about that. It wasn't there when you needed it. It needs to be present already so that at the beginning of that last binary, that push is already there for the crossover that's setting up. You're paying attention? You need that push to be there already. So now when the crossover sets up, the push is also there. This is another thing about momentum and the tug of war that I mentioned. Momentum will fight reversal energy. So what you'll see is that when momentum persists, eventually the reversal energy is subdued so much that it's almost like it's not even there. It's still there, but it ain't there enough to disturb what momentum is doing. So what momentum is actually doing, momentum is forcing the market to become stable. This is why I said that momentum is even more important in the vertical. Momentum forces the market to stabilize. Why? Because it's fighting reversal energy. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. Come on, y'all got, see, these lessons really be like really deep, intricate lessons that I teach on these lives. The things I describe are the things you'll see when you look at the market. You'll know that I know what I'm talking about. See, and the fact that I address them when I bring these things up, now you have a tool to use when you see it again, because you're going to see it again and you're going to be like, oh, this is what he was talking about on Coffee and Charts. Oh, snap. All right. See? So very important. And again, by not being in trade mode, not chasing trades, this is how you're learning to understand and interact with the market. Same thing I've been telling you the whole time when we've just been doing horizontal. I'm telling you now the same thing for anyone that's doing vertical. Nothing has changed. Same three elements that we deal with in vertical that we deal with in horizontal: environment, behavior, and phase 3. Same thing. Nothing has changed. The only thing that's different is the perspective. But we still apply the same process. Come on, man. That's how you know that's how you know it works. It's not supposed to change. Why would it change if it's the same market? Man, this is good stuff, y'all. So, all right, let me read something. Now, this is interesting because the same issues that people bring up in horizontal, look at this. Same issue, somebody brings up an issue with the vertical too. Look at vertical prices out too fast to catch most of the time. Is that true? Is that true? What do I tell y'all about horizontal when people say, oh, well, it's never pricing? Sound familiar? So this is how y'all know that I know what I'm talking about, because the same issues that people have in horizontal, they have the same issue in vertical. NADEX just said it. Said prices out too fast to catch most of the time. That's not true. But this internet acting stupid. Why the internet always act up, man? Damn. I kind of want to switch, but I think I'm gonna leave it. Let me just leave it for now. But anyway, the reason that this seems to be the case is because, all right, is it back on? Is it back up? Andrew said it froze completely. Can y'all hear me now? Is it good, or it's still acting stupid? It's showing that I'm back up though. It's up? Okay. All right, so the reason that this appears to take place, what NADEX is saying, right, is because you don't mean to do it, but you do it. You're actually looking more at the trades. I know that you don't mean to do that, but you can't help it. I understand. It takes time to overcome that. It takes time to overcome wanting to see the trade and how the trade looks, and it was their pricing, and what was the, how many micro pips away from the strike, and what was the time. You want to see that, I understand, but you can't judge anything off of that, because that's always going to be a variable. In other words, it's never going to always look the same. And the same thing applies in vertical that applies in horizontal. There will be many times that you don't see pricing, yet you get filled on the trade. I have videos now in vertical where I clicked in, pricing was gone, and I was filled on the trade, and you never saw pricing on the platform. You didn't see pricing, you just saw the trade fill. I have recordings now of that. So again, same thing that happens in horizontal. How many times have you guys seen videos that I've created where I'm in a trade and I entered the trade and you didn't see pricing, but I got filled on the trade in horizontal? How many of y'all seen that? Right? Everybody's seen that. Same thing happens in vertical. So again, it's not an issue to be concerned about, because what you're doing is you're focusing on the trade setting up. And in the midst of that, because you're focused on the trade, you're looking at all of the things that in your mind represent a good trade. Oh, I got to see pricing. It has to be this number of pips away, and they got to be at the exact time. It's like you don't mean to do that, but that's how your brain functions because, of course, you're using your interpretation of the parameters, which is the last phase. But what I'm explaining to you is that it's the least important part of the process. The most important part is that you have the environment and the right behavior. In other words, you have, for vertical, momentum and stability. And in vertical, momentum is more important for vertical than a slow market is for horizontal. Why am I saying that? Because with vertical, momentum creates stability. When you have so much momentum in the market, it forces the market to stabilize the movement. When you have overwhelming momentum in the market, the reversal energy, it doesn't stand a chance. It can't do anything. There's too much momentum. There's too much push. So the move is stable. The move is going to hold wherever it ends up at. Wherever it goes to is going to stay there because there's too much momentum. That's what we want to see. So now when your trade sets up and that crossover is about to happen and you know that that momentum is already there, guess what happens? It's called continuation. When y'all watch the training, 738, you'll hear me say crossover what? What do I say after crossover? I'm going to see who's been paying attention, who's been watching that. There's a word I use after crossover. I say it. I say crossover, blank, blank. There we go. Look at this. Come on, y'all. Crossover continuation. So continuation means that it was already doing it. Hold on, man. Hold on. Listen. Listen. Something continuing means it's doing it already. You're following me? Like, is it starting to click now? So this is what I mean about if you don't already have it there, then you have to wait for it to be there. If you don't already have it, it means it's not there yet. Look at the words. How many times you hear us say it's not there yet in horizontal? Oh, it's getting closer, but it ain't there yet. Same thing applies for vertical. See, this is an important live today because this is going to help folks to understand that just because you're dealing with the market from vertical, it doesn't mean that it's better. It doesn't mean that it's easier. Pay attention. You think just because you're dealing with the market in a faster environment, that's better than dealing with the market in a slow environment? See, this is what I mean. And this is another reason why I felt that it was so important to actually cover vertical, because I wanted people to see it ain't just easier because it's vertical. You don't get off like that. Oh, I'm gonna switch to vertical, man. It's much easier to do it, that way. Is it? Is it easier? Or do you still got to put in the same work with the same process? Oh, shout out to Jeanette. 2 years with TA. Come on now. Oh, yeah. Make sure that you shout yourselves out. Let me know how long you've been with TA for. We got a lot of vet here. Yes, indeed. Yeah, shout out to Jeanette. I love Jeanette. She always messaged me around the first of the month. She'd be like, yo. She'd be like, Mark, before you get busy, can I get that playlist, please? I love when I'll be expecting it too. I'll be waiting for her to message me. She never fails. Yeah, observation is key all day. Absolutely. Oh, let me come back in the chat. I see there was a couple of things in there that I had overlooked a little bit. Look, she talking her shit. She said, "Damn, Skippy." Yep. Angel, I'm going back. I see it. I think yours was one of the ones that probably even brought my attention to the fact that you was typing in here. Now this so look, all right. So I'm going back in the chat. I'm kind of just going up. So Jeanette started off saying it gets filled at the right time. 100%. 100%. Come on now. David said he ain't had no issues getting filled at all in vertical. And I know that for a fact because he sends me his videos regularly. He said it's a caveat that pricing moves faster. Right. I mean, pricing does funny stuff in horizontal too. A lot of times you don't see pricing, but it doesn't mean that there are not orders on the platform to fill your trade. Doesn't mean that. Your job is to follow the TA process all the way through and let the market decide if you get filled and let the market decide everything else that goes on, excuse me, with that trade. Your job is to make sure that you're in that trade at the right time, and that's it. All right, so this is what Angel said. Doesn't that type of fill usually take place because there's enough wobbling with the stability to where it'll come back a bit, but it's not a full reversal? Many times, yes. Many times, yes. And many times, you don't even see the wobble. What do I mean by that? Sometimes you'll actually see the market come back and then it will continue. Other times, the market has so much momentum and things are happening so quickly, you click in, the market is moving, there's no pricing, moving, boom, you get filled. And you're like, wow, the market didn't even move back and you still got filled. So again, it doesn't have as much to do with what you're thinking that it does. It has more to do with just the dynamic of the platform. Remember that it's an exchange. Somebody else is trading. They might think the market's going to reverse. They might be thinking, I think the market's going to go back up. I think it's going to shoot back up. There's a lot of people out there that like to play volatility, right? Oh, I think it's going to push back up. So they'll place a trade opposite to yours. At the time, they're buying into the momentum going down, whereas you're following the momentum going down to remain down. So guess what happens? Your trade and your order gets matched up with theirs. Boom. Your order gets filled. But because you recognize the momentum in the market just keeps going. It don't even come back. So it wasn't even a fill that happened as a result of an actual move back. You understand what I'm saying? The market didn't even move back, but you still got filled on your trade. And this is why I'm saying that you identifying and recognizing that the momentum that you need to be there is there first. That's more important, really, than anything else that you're doing, with the exception of actually clicking into the trade at the time. Because I'm telling you, if that momentum is there like that, the market's going to go and it's going to stay. And sometimes there's so much momentum that you'll see the tug of war between momentum and reversal energy, and momentum wins. There have been times where you see the momentum and then there's a reversal. But because there's so much momentum, the reversal doesn't threaten the strike price. It comes back, but it don't go nowhere near the strike price. Then it'll go back down, or vice versa, up. Whatever direction it's in, it doesn't even matter. But it's almost like a rubber band, like it snaps and then boom, snaps back. But the snapback was in the original direction. So, you'll see variations of it, but the principle is the same. The momentum is the key, because having momentum for a longer period of time, it overwhelms reversal energy in the market. That's what happens. Another thing that happens, there's much less of a chance for a reversal during momentum move, like just during that type of movement. There's so much less of a chance when the market is going across a strike for the market to reverse and go back. The chances is just way less, because that line meant something until it was violated. The same way that you'll see position changes is similar to that idea, but it's taking place in a faster environment. So it's kind of similar to that idea, where a position change will just relocate the market somewhere else, and now the market will be in the new place. So it's similar to that as far as moving across that strike and staying across. Like, it won't come back. It just goes, and that's it. And I'm telling you, when that momentum is there, the momentum has forced the market to stabilize to that degree, to the point where it's as if there is no reversal energy at all. The market just went there, and that was it. It was over. So that's what happens also. But, there's a lot of variations of what I'm describing that you'll see. But again, it's understanding the foundation and training on that and applying that in your observation that is going to lead you to know when the right time is present. And it's much better that you understand that part first and fully before even thinking about trades. Trades really are irrelevant if you don't understand whether or not the time is right to be in one. What good is a trade if you don't know if now is a good time to be in one? Oh, a trade setup. Okay. But what environment are you in? So you need to know the answer to that, because you might be in the gray area. And you being in a gray area and being in a trade in the gray area is a coin flip. Oh boy. That's what it is. It's a straight up coin flip. So this is what we spend our time doing. We just totally avoid being in the gray area altogether. And that's why that's more important than you worrying or being concerned about the trade stuff. Let the trade stuff take care of itself. It will. Don't worry about fills. Don't worry about anything. Just let that take care of itself. Your job is to recognize, well, is now the right time to even be in a trade if it sets up? That should always be the question. Not, was this a good trade? There's no such thing as a good trade. The only thing that's relevant for us is if the time is right. Is it a good time? It's a good time? Yes? Okay, so if a trade comes, then that'll be the one that we should be in. Well, Mark, what if no trade comes? Then no trade comes. But you still did your job recognizing that the time was right. So you knowing that the time is right is more important than whether trades come or not. That's a hard pill for people to swallow. Listen to what I just said. Listen to that. You knowing whether the time is right is more important than trades coming. Well, how many trades you get this week? Doesn't matter how many trades. It really doesn't. The question should be, how many times did you see and recognize the right time? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, man. A lot of jewels today. A lot of jewels today, man. How many times did you recognize the right time? Wow. So Angel, did I catch your question? Or is there anything else that I missed? Because I see what you wrote here. So I assume that you were talking about that question that you asked earlier. Did I answer everything? And did anyone else have a question that I missed or a concern? I see what Bilal said earlier too. He said momentum is like an airplane. Airplanes generate so much momentum that even if all the engines were to fail mid-air, you can still fly the plane and attempt to land it. Yeah. Woo, that's hard. That explains it right there. Very good, Bilal. Very good. Did you catch that? That was good. That was good. Shawnee was asking how many micro pips in a momentum candle, or is it irrelevant? No, it's not irrelevant. This is a good question. I think that I will attempt to answer the question, but I'm not going to answer it the way you're asking it. Let me just do this. When you see the candle before the last minute taking up the majority of the box space, that's how you have confirmation that the market has the necessary momentum present. Let me say that again. I want you to think about the box, right? If the box has, let's say, two or three candles in it before the last minute is about to cross over, it ain't enough momentum. Come on now. Listen, y'all catch this. If you got 2 or 3 candles in the box before the last minute, it ain't enough. You got 2 candles in the box before the last minute, ain't enough. You got 1 candle in the box before the last minute. That's what I'm talking about. And you still want to know that the momentum is there. So I want you to have seen that move so that it's not just one big ass candle on the chart in the midst of a whole bunch of other size candles. We want to see big candles, period, for a period of time, especially leading up to the last minute of the binary that you're observing for the crossover. That should answer that question. That's a good question, actually. That's a very good question. Because that way you'll remember to not get caught up in the crossover. I had a whole discussion today. Rob Binks, what's happening? And welcome. I'm not sure who Rara is. Seems like that might be the first time I've seen whoever that is. But welcome to the channel. So, what was I just saying? I was about to say something else. What the hell did I just say? Oh, so having multiple candles in the box before that last minute? No. Nope. You shouldn't see 3 candles in the box before the last minute crossover. When you have a lot of momentum, that whole move will be 1 candle. 1 candle. And at the most, a piece of one shorter candle and then a big candle going into the crossover. That's more along the line of what you want to see. So that right there should answer that question. Okay. All right. So Angel is good. Flying a plane upside down like Denzel, huh? Right. When you got the momentum, you can flip the plane over and all that. Yeah, that movie was ill. That was a good movie. That was a good movie. Was that movie based on a true story? I don't remember. It might have been fiction, but that was a good movie. Yep, he was drunk on that plane, still flew it like that. That was crazy. Yes, and I'm Shawnee OG, so he know what people be doing too. Right, and we don't want it to be subjective. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, so thank you for asking that. That was good. That was good. Right. Right. Let's hope that was not a true story, right?
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, we wouldn't want that. Not at all. Yeah, that movie was crazy, man. Yep. And they tried to get him off too, remember? But then he ended up telling the truth. That was good. Yeah, Denzel, he always come through in the movie. Yeah, so yeah, this was good, man. This was very good. This was very yeah. And shout out to the YouTube channel, man. 4,000 subscribers, man. Shit. Again, yes. We did it here live. 4,000 today, Friday, December 10th. All right. All right. So, did anyone have any other questions before we get off for the weekend? Any other questions? If anyone is new, again, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and tune into these live streams. A lot of folks out there are going to learn how to trade. See, like, what's so funny is that in order to learn how to trade, you're actually learning how to understand the market. Because the purpose of trading is to win your trades and make money. That's the purpose. Yeah, I actually got a bottle of champagne. I'm gonna crack that open tonight. Yep, sure am. I was waiting for an occasion. That's a good one. Because I don't really drink champagne like that, but it's just sitting in there. I'm like, when am I gonna open this? Yep, but today seemed like a good day. As good a day as any. Oh, you want to have a party for real, huh? You remember that? Yeah, yo, I used to be in the car doing parties on Fridays. Some of y'all, I don't think y'all was around at the time. I used to do Friday night parties in the car, bugging out. Right, yeah, New Year's is right there. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. You know, it's funny. I don't be drinking on New Year's. You know what I do on New Year's? I wait until it's New Year's and then I go to sleep. We doing old people shit, man. Yo, I thought it's like when that ball drop, it's like it's over. Like, good night. See y'all in the morning. Shit, I'm going to bed, man. All right, y'all. Nobody want to be near you drunk, huh? I can imagine. Yeah, them lives. Them lives was crazy. She said she ain't waiting to midnight. She right, you be asleep. You miss everything. Yeah, it's played out, man. I'm trying to think of the last time I went out for New Year's. I think it was like, damn. The last time I was out somewhere, I remember the place too. It was a lounge in the city called Tangerine. I think it was down in not Chelsea. but it was somewhere down like in the village or in that area, place called Tangerine. I was like, I ain't doing this no more. Shit, I'm tired. I was 30 something at that time. Yeah, that was years, man. Years ago. Now I be in the house with the family, and that's it. For real, man. Yeah, man. Have New Year's in your house. That way you don't got to drive nowhere. Ain't nothing worse than having to drive when you know, you're under the influence. You should not be driving. Yeah, definitely went off, right? Yep. They made the drink smash strong that night. Yeah, man. Trying to get you lit up. This is crazy. I remember that too. Oh, snap. Jeanette says she watches New York on the Earth Cam. David stitching people up in the hospital on New Year's. Crazy. Right. Somebody got their head split open. Oh man. All right, y'all. So listen, everybody have an awesome weekend. I will see you guys on the next live observation. So it'll either be coffee and charts or live market observation. I'll be doing the podcast again soon. I don't know when exactly. I got some good topics too. So I'm gonna bring the podcast back definitely. Yep, for shizzy. Yeah, it was somewhere in the village. It's down there with the village people. Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. I'm out, man. Y'all know what it is. Mark for the TeamAlliance. So this is Coffee and Charts. What is this? Volume 58. Yep, and 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. All right. Let's get it. All right, y'all. Y'all have an awesome weekend, man. Peace.
Dom the Monko.